Um, Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about Cadillacquer's latest collection. It is their spring thermals for 2021. Now this is a completely color changing collection. It's got 7 pieces and we're seeing a variety of glitters. We've got some shimmers, we've got some iridescent flakies in there. We got a really interesting collection coming right up. Guys, this collection is like, what? This is so cool. I know, I feel like I always say cool all the time, but like, it was. At first glance, the colors do look a little bit more winter vibe or fall vibe, but once you see that color change, that's when we see those gorgeous spring colors that we know and love. So this is the first thermal collection that I've tried, and it was very interesting taking video and photos of these polishes. So how this collection works is that depending on the temperature of your nails, if they're warm, then the polish will turn into one color, and if your nails are more on the cooler side, then there'll be another color, and if it's kind of like an in-between, then you'll have this gorgeous gradient or ombre effect. Thanks to Nail Stuff Canada, which is a Canadian retailer and stockist of this brand, I was able to try this collection and I'm really excited to share it with you. All right, so let's get swatching. So this is a 7-piece collection. We've got 4 polishes that do feature the iridescent flakies only, and then 3 that feature both glitters and iridescent flakies. Additionally, there are 3 tri-thermals, so they will be shifting between 3 colors, which we'll see coming right up. So first up, we have Aviva, and this one starts off as a reddish orange and then shifts to a medium orange and then finally to a yellow green shade. It also has these shifty red, pink to orange to yellow iridescent flakies. Now on the first coat, we get this beautiful wash of orange, and then we see the pinkish reddish iridescent flakies. On the first coat, we are already seeing the color start to change into that yellow greenish color, and then this is reflected again into our second coat as it appears to be darker, but really it's a little bit cooler as it's coming out of the bottle here and on the brush. I do recommend 3 coats with this one, and here's the final look as we see it between those cooler and warmer temperatures. So on the cooler temperature side, we'll see that reddish orange, and then of course we gradually build into that yellowish green as the nails start to warm. So this is one of my favorite color combinations because they are so contrasting, and the iridescent flakies really complement this color combination as well. And we see that color shift very prominently in that yellowish greenish shade combination. Next we have Eivor, and this is a dark smoky purple, and then it does change into medium purple and finally to a light green once it's in its warmest temperature. I love this particular color. I love the smokiness or the dustiness of that purple. To me, it's very unique. On that first coat, we're already seeing that subtle color change, and then we see it's a little bit more darker at the tip of the nail. I love how vibrant those iridescent flakies look. So here's the final look with all 3 colors together. Near the cuticle, it is a little bit warmer, so we're seeing that green shade peeking through, and then as we get closer to the tip of the nail, it's that dark purple. So it looks very, very cool to me. Like, this is so pretty, and the colors again here are very contrasting. However, they do complement each other really well, and the iridescent flakies appear different depending on the shade of the polish at the time. So here are a few shots of those color changes. Next we have Flora, and this shifts from a deep purple that we see here, and then it shifts into a lavender shade, which finally warms into a fuchsia or pink shade. This is another tri-thermal polish, and it also has those iridescent flakies as we've been seeing consistently throughout. I love this deep purple shade. It is on the cooler side in terms of undertone as well, and then those iridescent flakies, while they do look pink here, they really complement the purple as well, and does create an interesting combination in color. Now the color shifts here are a little bit more in the same purple color range, and it just creates this really gradual deepening in color, which looks really beautiful. Now these polishes do dry down semi-matte or a little bit more of a satin finish, so I highly recommend a glossy top coat on these. And look how luscious that deep purple looks. It is stunning with those pink flakies, and then as you warm into that pink shade of the polish, those flakies really blend in more deeply, and it just creates almost this painting or like a really artsy look to the nails, and just that ombre look to the nails looks really beautiful here when we have those shades so similar together. Next up we have Haru, and this starts off as an almost black burgundy shade, and then of course as the nails warm they shift into an orange red thermal. Now this one also has those iridescent flakies, and this looks really beautiful. This is probably one of my favorite color combinations from this collection, and just overall. Now in the first coat we're already seeing a bit of that color change. It is looking more on that orangey reddish side, and then as you apply more coats it's a little bit darker near the tip of the nail. Now look how gorgeous that is. I'm in love with this one. It's so pretty. So I want to show you how this polish looks when your nails are a little bit more on the cooler side. We're getting that darker, deeper burgundy shade, and then as they warm up they become this orangey red, and it just reminds me of like this really fiery interesting polish, and I really love this one. So this is how it looks as well. I sped up the video for this piece of footage. I wanted to really show you how the polish looks between temperature changes. So I applied kind of like an extreme cold and then right into an extreme warm temperature. This is sort of like a deep burgundy vampy look, and I really like this one. It's very standout to me in this collection as well, and does create a unique addition. Next we have Leilani, and this is a frosty blue to almost white thermal polish, and it's got these white glitters with shifty flakies and shimmers in there as well. And then as the nails warm it goes into almost like a pale blue, and then here we have a little bit more of those glitters showing in this polish. And this is one of the polishes that do feature the glitter and iridescent flaky combination. As we see here, those iridescent flakies are showing more on that pink side. Now one thing I wanted to note is that because this polish does carry those extra glitters in there, this will get quite goopy the more layers you add, so I wouldn't recommend more than 3 layers, as well as it does also make the color change less sensitive. So here's a final look with my nails more on the cooler side, and then as they warm they do become a little bit more of that pale blue or that pale grayish white look to it. Very icy. I feel like this polish can also double as a winter polish as well. Next we have Vita, and this starts off as a dark green in its cooler state, and then it moves into a medium green and then finally into a pale green as the nails start to warm. This is of course another tri-thermal polish. This one has small white glitters as well as shifty red to orange to yellow flakies. Now on the second coat, it does build up nicely in color. However, I do feel like it's a little bit sheer near the tip of the nail, so I'm going to go in with just a third coat. Now this is another polish that I wouldn't recommend applying more than 3 coats, as it will start to get a little bit on the goopier side the more coats you go. We see that deep evergreen polish, and then when the nails start to warm a little bit, they start to go into this medium green polish as well, and it almost has this speckled look with those glitters and iridescent flakies. And then finally it warms into its lightest shade, which is this really pale green, and then of course those white glitters stand out just a little bit more on that lighter shade. So here's a shot with all three colors shown at once, and then here's how it looks in its warmest state. Next we have Eivor, which starts off as this almost black burgundy thermal polish, which shifts into this gorgeous light pink. And then it also features these aquamarine blue glitters, as well as those iridescent flakies and shimmers. This polish for some reason reminds me of like chocolate. I'm not sure why. I love these opposing colors. You know, we have this pink color, which is really bright, and then we have this almost black brownish color that looks very, very cool, and it almost looks like the pink is burnt. It just creates this really cool, unique look. Here's the final look. While the nails feature more of that colder temperature, they're a little bit more on the darker side. You can see those aquamarine glitters, and then as the nails start to warm, they go into that pink shade, which looks absolutely stunning. You know, I'm really a fan of the color combinations featured in this collection. I really feel that Cadillacquer just thought outside of the box for this one. I felt like they really went in on choosing colors that were contrasting and different, as well as shades that were really close together, which we saw with the evergreen polish and the purple shade as well. I wanted to go in and try a Skittle mani with these polishes, and that is of course putting a different color on each nail. And then this is the final look. All right, so welcome back. Which shade was your favorite from the collection? Was there one featured here that you were particularly interested in? Let me know in the comment section below. The best of the bunch for my personal favorite polish definitely has to be Leilani, and that was that gorgeous blue thermal that does shift into that pale blue or almost like a off-white kind of shade. I thought that was really cool, really interesting. I do like the addition of those glitters in there as well. The most interesting would have to be Vita, and that was the green polish. I love that there was 3 very distinct shades in this polish. You know, you got the darker green, you got a medium green, and then you got that beautiful lime green. I really liked this experience swatching a thermal collection. They are really fun when you have them on. If you haven't tried a thermal polish or a color changing polish, like, I highly recommend. What I liked most about this collection is that we did have kind of the subtle change in color like we saw with the green polish. There were different shades of green, but then we also had different polishes where we're shifting from 2 very different colors, like when we went from the brown to the pink. That was really cool. Now, if you're interested in checking out this collection, please go ahead and check out my description box below. I'll be sharing a link where you can check out different international stockists and retailers that do carry this brand. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Anyways, guys, I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.